What is up, everybody? This is your boy, Is Nefarious, and I am here with another edition of the Fantasy Report, which is a part of the Premier Madden League, which is one of the most immersive leagues out there for PS4 and for Madden in general. Before I dive into it, I do want to bring up I do want to show you guys exactly how to apply and all that. So as you can see here, I got the website up. You go to premiermadden.com, as you can see at the top. You go ahead and apply right in the middle there, as you can see on the information bar. You got stats, rules, apply, podcasts, and members. So we got a bunch of stuff to offer, especially with members. As you can see, we submit user scores to make sure everybody's playing in a sim way. That's why every game's streamed. And then we got submit attribute requests for all the content put out, like the fantasy report. And then we got submit trade for approval. And as you could see, as a member, I could do whatever I want on the site. You take a look, we got all this content too. I mean, we're very immersive. So if anybody's watching and you're not in the league and you want to be a part, just go ahead on the website, hit apply, and then if you qualify, we'll reach out to you. And we actually have a B league, which is going to be a fantasy draft league. So it's going to be fun. We are full at the moment, and if somebody ends up dropping off, you could end up in the league sooner rather than later. So go ahead and apply to that. But let's jump right back into the slideshow. So this is the fantasy report, the Premier Madden League fantasy report. I got um, I got this thing going. If you haven't watched this before, where we play fantasy football, but it's all PML stat based. So it's all based on how players play in the league. There's a few rules, obviously, to keep players from you know stat padding and things like that. So we do have a few rules when playing this. But if you're interested in playing it and you're in the league, just hit my DMs on Discord and we'll talk about getting you in it. The winner each week gets one attribute point or attribute to use on a request. So it's pretty easy. I mean, you could use the same lineup every week. It's a weekly pick 'em, so you could pick anybody. Just can't pick players on your own team or players from the opposing team that week. But if you're interested, just hit me up and we'll get you started. Let's dive right into it. So we got our pick 'em results. As you can see, I ended up in first this week with 167.32. I was followed by the Jets owner, which is Bacon, at 154.94. And then you had the Chargers user, which is Q, at 137.5. We had Fallen, who absolutely ran shop last year. I can't even remember how many points he got off winning, but he kept winning. He had to have like more than 8 wins in the 16 weeks that we did play this, and he had 133.8. Ended up in fourth in week one. Burn ended up last in week one with 131.8. He is our Colts user and was in the Super Bowl last year. If you haven't followed, but he ended up in fourth here. Let's jump right into the next thing. We got the pick'em winners. So this is basically my team and what it looked like and what kind of picks I went with and how I ended up in the position I was. So I had a couple good picks in there. Sam Darnold was my quarterback with 26.22 points. Then I had Tariq Cohen with 20 points. Then I had Saquon Barkley with 28.9. Odell Beckham was my wide receiver one with 18.9. Marquise Goodwin was my wide receiver two with 35. Then I had Noah Font as my tight end with 6.2. And then my flex, which was a really big surprise. Maybe he got injured for the game, but Naheem Hines, who is a top 50 player and, one of those big names in the league, had a great year last season. He only ended up with, I think, like 2 carries for 1 yard. I don't know exactly what happened. Maybe he got injured. But my kicker was Ciaro Santos with 5 points. And then my defense was the Bears defense, who had a good game with 27 points. And that's pretty much gave me 167.32. So a good week for me and my team, and I'm able to use that 1 point to any player on my team. I'll figure it out. Maybe as time goes along, I'll have to talk to the commissioner, but maybe these points could not count towards a tribute request, and we could have our own little section, and it could be like extra points. Because we do have a cap for each player at 20, so it could be like an extra point for, one of your favorite guys to build. So we'll probably talk about that, but let's move on. We got the team of the week, and as you can see here, my quarterback of the week is Kirk Cousins out of Minnesota. Kurt had 272 passing yards for 10.88 points. He had passing touchdowns for 20 points, one interception for -2 points, and then -2 rushing yards for .02 points. So he had a great week. It was a good matchup. I believe he played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Put up a lot of touchdowns. I mean, 5 touchdowns is really good. Um, he had a total of 28.668. So that's an overall good week from a quarterback in this league. And hopefully he continues to make strides. And he could be on the weekly pick 'em week to week if he continues to play the way he is. Let's jump into the next one. And we got actually a rookie in the league. As you can see, we have this college pitcher up there. We use real life rookies in this real life college players for rookies in this league. So Jonathan Taylor, our running back of the week. He had 200 yards, and that was only on like 8 carries for 4 touchdowns. He had 1 reception for -4 yards, which gave him a total of 44.6. 200 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's a really good week from a running back. 44.6 has to be the high so far. We'll see if anybody catches him, but I don't think so. Running back is kind of OP in this league and OP in Madden 20 in general, just based on the way it was made. So great week from him. Let's jump into the wide receiver of the week, and we actually got a new face in a new place. We got Marquise Goodwin, the speedy wide receiver who got traded to the Buffalo Bills this offseason, and his first week with the Buffalo Bills, he is the wide receiver of the week. So he had 4 receptions for 4 points, 190 yards for 19 points, and then 2 receiving touchdowns for 12 points, which gave him a grand total of 35 points. Taking a look at Marquise Goodwin with the Buffalo Bills, he was with the San Francisco 49ers, but their system didn't really fit Marquise Goodwin and his style of play. He was more he wasn't more of an air it out type of guy in San Fran. So I think with the Buffalo Bills got user is pretty much a gunslinger. He likes to use Josh Allen and pretty much put it all over the field. So Marquise Goodwin, I think, is going to be a huge pickup for him. And as you can see, he already had a really good week. So congrats to him on the pickup, and congrats to Marquise Goodwin on the wide receiver of the week. We got our tight end of the week, another new face in a new place, and we're staying in the AFC East. We got OJ Howard, the ex-Buccaneer who is now with the New York Jets. He is our tight end of the week. He had 5 receptions for 5 points, 101 receiving yards for 10.1 points, and then he had 2 receiving touchdowns for 12 points, which gave him a grand total of 27.1 points. Great week from him. Great week from the Jets as well. They had a rough season last year, and they had a really good week 1. I think they played the Rams and beat them 35-10. But having OJ Howard, really athletic tight end, I think it's going to be a problem for the AFC East. He's a really good user when it comes to the passing game, and having a tight end like that is really going to help him. So congrats to him on the pickup, and congrats to OJ on the team of the week. We got our defense of the week. We got the Washington Redskins, who only allowed 3 points, which gave him 7 points, had 3 sacks, which gave him 3 points, and then had 6 turnovers, which gave him 12 total points, and then the 1 defensive touchdown for 6 points, which gave him a grand total of 28 points. And as you can see, that turnover amount was a big key to the Washington Redskins defense earning so many points. 12 points off just turnovers is really good. And then adding the touchdown with 6 points is really good as well. Just eked out the Chicago Bears with 28, and the Chicago Bears had 27. Uh, and that's pretty much going to do it for our team of the week. Before I move into our next segment, I like to thank Fallen, who is the Broncos user and who is a key component to the fantasy report. He helps me a lot. Helps me a lot, especially with this team of the week that he does. Um, I do league report and the fantasy report, so I don't have the time to always do everything. It's nice to have a little help, and I appreciate Fallen for helping me out with this project. And we're gonna jump into our next segment. We got the fantasy pick'em. So this is gonna be new to the fantasy report. So basically, what it's gonna be is we're gonna pick the top three options in each position going into the next week, and I'll tell you them and then I'll discuss it a little bit. So we're gonna start with the quarterbacks. We got Sam Darnold from the New York Jets, who had a really good week one, and I could see it continuing against the San Francisco 49ers in week two. The San Francisco 49ers is a good user, not the greatest, and I think Bacon, the Jets user, is really failing himself right now. And with his new weapons, I think he's going to be a force. So Sam Darnold, I think, is going to be a safe pick this week. Then we got um, Derek Carr out of Oakland. He's going up against the Buccaneers, who just gave up a lot of points to Kirk Cousins, and Kirk Cousins ended up on the team of the week. So Derek Carr and Kurt, who is a good user offensively, I think it could be a really good matchup, given the user versus user scale and how Kirk Cousins performed against him. For our game, our QB3, we got Kirk Cousins, who was on the team of the week. I think CEO is a great user. Going against Green Bay, you never know what you're going to get from Green Bay because he's also a good user, but he had a terrible year last year. Maybe he was trying to tank for Chase Young. Maybe he's a big Chase Young fan, and he ended up not being able to get him as Chase Young went one overall to the New York Jets. So maybe he was just tanking for Chase Young, but he ended up getting AJ Espinoza, and it looks like he's actually playing this season. He is 1-0, so we'll see exactly how that game goes. Um, but I think Kirk Cousins is the overall good play week to week. Let's jump into the running back. So we got Jonathan Taylor, the rookie, who's going up against the Carolina Panthers. Jonathan Taylor had a really good week one. I think he's going to be an intricate part of that offense, even with Philip Lindsay on it. Jonathan Taylor is going to be a week to week kind of guy that you got to look at. Very good running back. Somebody that you should think about picking every week. And I think he's got a good matchup against the Carolina Panthers this week. Carolina, JT, the commissioner, he's a good user, not the greatest. So I think with that type of matchup, he's a safe pick. Then we got Tariq Cohen, who is a safe pick week to week. He's going up against the Giants. I got him on this list because the last time he played the Giants, he ran all over him. And this season, I don't see the Giants as an improved team defensively too much. So I think this could be another good game from Tariq Cohen. It's going to be fun to watch. They haven't played yet, and that's going to be our game of the week. So let's see if Tariq Cohen's able to take advantage once again. Then we got Nyheim Hines from Indianapolis against the Tennessee Titans. I got him on our pick 'em. Tennessee is it's his first season in the league. Didn't really play well week one. I think he got smacked by the Jaguars, was the worst team last season. But he's got the Colts this time, and Nyheim Hines is a game changer. Don't know what happened game one, but he's not on the injury report, so I think he's gonna have a good week, a good bounce back week this week. Going to the wide receivers, we got Marquise Goodwin. I think he's gonna be a week to week type of pick'em guy. Buffalo Bills and that user likes the cheese, so he likes this high speed guy. So I see a lot of streaks ran, and he's going to catch a couple, and he's going to get a couple touchdowns. He's the type of offense that scores a lot of points but gives up a lot of points. So he's always going to be passing it. He's never really going to be strictly running it all game. So I think he's a good pick against the New England Patriots. who seem to give up a lot of points as well. So it's a good offense against a defense that is pretty bad. So that's a good pick. And then we got Juju Smith-Schuster, the Pittsburgh Steelers, going up against the Baltimore Ravens, who absolutely got smoked week one. Um, Not sure what's going on in Baltimore. Maybe he's disengaged, but I think Juju, as the number one threat in Pittsburgh, D. Lloyd knows how to use him, and I think he's going to be a good matchup against the Ravens this week. Then we got Kurt with the Oakland Raiders. Again, we got that Oakland Raider Tampa Bay matchup working as we got Antonio Brown wrapping it up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If you're gonna go for a matchup, I think Oakland versus Tampa Bay is a great one to look at, especially in a passing game. Not so much in a running game. He doesn't do too much damage with Kareem Hunt, even though Kareem Hunt's really good. He's more of a passing attack type of guy. So I think that's a good play. We got tight ends. We got O.J. Howard from the New York Jets up against San Fran. Like I said, O.J. Howard's a great weapon for Sam Darnold and Bacon, and I think he's going to use them thoroughly this season. He has some good wide receivers, but I think he likes to play over the middle of the field. So I think O.J. Howard week to week is going to be a safe bet. Then we got the Carolina Panthers and the Denver Broncos matchup once again. He loves his tight end Noah Fant. He's got a good matchup. Noah Fant's a good guy to key on every week, and with a good matchup, you definitely got to key on him. That's why I got him as our tight end 2 to play. And then our tight end 3, I got Travis Kelce up against the Los Angeles Chargers. KC's got a good offense. Q is coming off a tough situation, a tough loss. So we'll see exactly what happens. But I think Travis Kelce could be an intricate part over the middle, and he's a great weapon. It's kind of tough. The tight end 3 was a tough pick, but I kind of went with the best overall player for that. Then we got defenses. We got the Washington Redskins up against the Los Angeles Rams as a good matchup. I think the Rams aren't the greatest offense, and the Redskins coming off the team of the week this week. I could see him doing back-to-back weeks with a good matchup. So that's always a good pick, especially with the Rams. You take a look at our number 2. We got the Miami Dolphins against the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns switched up their scheme. They're working on a few things. I think they're still trying to figure it out. And I think the Miami Dolphins showed what type of a defense they can be, as they only allowed 17 points to the high-flying Chiefs offense. So I think Cookie Boy with that Miami defense is really, really good, and I think he's a safe pick week to week, especially with a user that could pile up mistakes if he's not failing himself. So I think that's a good matchup. You take a look at my last matchup. I got the Oakland Raiders against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I could see Oakland getting off to an early lead, and then Tampa Bay playing catch up, and he's prone to some turnovers, and Oakland's got one of the best user linebackers in the league. So I think that's a safe pick. Kurt does really well in the middle, so we'll see exactly what happens. That's a good pick in my eyes. But that's pretty much going to wrap it for our pick'ems. If you picked some of these guys this week, I think you're going to have a good week. But I hope you enjoyed this new segment. Maybe I'll add some more stuff, but I think this is a good addition. It did take a lot of work to put it together and a lot of thought, but I hope you all enjoyed it. And that's pretty much going to do it for our fantasy report. Trying to make this a little more intricate, a little more deep. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope you continue to tune in, and I hope some more users take part. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next week.